for 12, but we did a good job for ethanol. Together we achieved the most secure border in U.S. history. We built 561 miles of border wall, despite the fact we had to fight the rhinos and the Democrats. You know where I took the money? From the military. I got $700 billion from the military. I said, excuse me, we're taking 10 and we're building the wall, because you couldn't get them from the rhinos, Mitch McConnell and these guys. You couldn't get it. He was not good, not good. You couldn't get it from him, and Paul Ryan was like this a real jerk, a real fool, like a stupid fool. But these guys, they wouldn't give it to you. They wouldn't give it. And now they end up giving trillions of dollars to this character, Biden. And he goes around saying, we'll build a bridge, we'll build whatever you want, you know, trying to buy votes. But it's not working because they are down the tubes. What it is doing is causing tremendous inflation. That's what that does. And that's what's happening in our country. And that's what's killing so many families. I also got Mexico to give us 28,000 soldiers. And, you know, free of charge. I said to the president of Mexico, we have to get you to give us soldiers to guard our border while I'm building the border wall, because we're building this great wall. It's exactly the wall that Border Patrol. I didn't actually like it. I wanted to have concrete plank, like parking garage plank, going up in the air 40 feet, 50 feet up in the air, perfect. But the Border Patrol didn't want, they had to have steel on the outside, they wanted concrete, and then they wanted rebar, they wanted different materials. And they wanted to be able to see through. You had to be able to see through. So I built it as they wanted it, everything they wanted. It was actually more expensive doing it that way than my way. And it was amazing how successful it was. And, you know, for those people that like to say, oh, but he didn't get Mexico to pay for it. Not the whole thing. There was no mechanism. So what I did do is I got 28,000 soldiers from Mexico, and that's much more expensive than having them pay for a piece of the wall. And it was very interesting because they said, we will not pay for that. How could you ask us for a thing like that? I said, no, you're going to pay for it. You have to pay for it. No, we're not going to do it. The president, who I have a lot of respect for, I really like him, even though he's a socialist, that's okay. Can't have everything, as I say, can't have everything. But he's a great guy, the president of Mexico. And I said, no, you got to pay for it. So they sent their top negotiator to see me in Washington, and I had the people from the State Department. A woman from the State Department who only handles Mexico said, sir, they're not going to pay for this, and they're not going to pay for a thing called Remain in Mexico. That was me. You know, Remain in Mexico was a Trump deal. They were all Trump deals, everything. We had 10 things. I said to Border Patrol, these people are incredible people, by the way, ICE and Border Patrol. I said, give me the 10 most important thing that you need from Mexico and from the other South American countries. They gave me 10 things, all of which were impossible. Catch and release in Mexico, as opposed to, you know, catch and release is we catch them, release them into the United States. I said, no, we catch them and release them into Mexico. I got everything. But I said to them, I said, you have to give us 28,000 soldiers free of charge. And he laughed at me like I was like a fool. We don't like being called a fool. He laughed at me. I said, you can't laugh at me. Why are you laughing at me? You know you're going to pay it, don't you? No, we're not going to pay it. Why would we pay for a thing like that? I said, you're going to pay it 100%. Look at me in the eye. I told him, look at me in the eye. You're going to pay it. No, we're not. I said, yes, you are. Here's what we're going to do. It's Friday now. On Monday morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, every car and every product that Mexico makes coming into the United States will have a 25% tariff on it, which is far more money than you're talking about for the soldiers, who you're paying anyway. So you're going to either do it or that. Sir, I'd like to make a phone call. Please come back quickly. He came back within 5 minutes. Sir, it would be our great honor to give you 28,000 soldiers, to have a policy of remain in Mexico, to have catch and release in Mexico, and 7 other things that were, frankly, in many cases worse. Then we had the safest border in our history, and it wasn't really that tough. I appointed nearly 300